Welcome to a new deep dive. Today we are pulling back the curtain on a really pivotal episode of World Wrestling Entertainment's Monday Night Raw. This was episode #1676, aired live July 7th, 2025 from Providence, Rhode Island. Amica Mutual Pavilion, about 8,400 fans there. So our mission for this deep dive for you is to unpack, the big rivalries, the surprising new alliances, and all that intense backstage drama. And really define the episode. Think of it like we're mapping the road to Evolution. It's setting the stage not just for WWE Evolution, but also NXT Great American Bash and Saturday night's main event, or right around the corner too. We're going to identify the key players, what's motivating them now, and those moments that are really shaping things heading into these huge events.
Yeah, it's actually kind of remarkable how much crucial info, much story progression they managed to pack into this one show. It wasn't just, match finishes. It felt like a masterclass in strategic positioning. It's really dictating where champions and challengers are headed across different brands even. It truly felt like every single action had a ripple effect.
Okay, definitely. Let's unpack this then and dive right into the biggest stories. What an explosive start to Raw this week. I mean, right out of the gate, Seth freaking Rollins and his new crew, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and Paul Heyman, they just commanded attention. And the crowd was totally into it, singing Rollins' song loud and clear. How crucial was that opening bit in setting the tone for the whole night?
Oh, that opening segment was everything. It immediately set the power dynamic. You had Braun Breaker, for instance, just wasting zero time, making his feelings known about Sami Zayn. And that verbal assault, calling him stupid beard, stupid face, the athletic abilities of a fish, someone who'd never work out. It wasn't just trash talk, no. It felt like a clear, almost brutal psychological attack. Trying to dehumanize Zayn, assert dominance right from minute one, he flat out promised to absolutely destroy him.
And Bronson Reed wasn't far behind, was he? Making his own chilling statement. He mentioned getting Rollins' respect with 6 tsunamis on someone else, and then basically vowed to beat respect into Jey Uso with the same move. Brutal. Then Paul Heyman steps up and delivers a really chilling promo. Declared that Imperium, which is what they're calling Rollins' group now, would strike first.
Yeah, Imperium. Interesting choice of word there.
Very. And Heyman made some pointed remarks, too, about former Bloodline guys. Mentioned Roman Reigns being absent, predicted Jey Uso would go MIA, missing in action, said he'd disappear completely, almost like vanished over the counter. And some weird Spanish remarks about Penta's hand signals, too. What do Heyman's words, especially that Imperium thing, signal about their ambitions?
Well, Heyman's language is always calculated, isn't it? Imperium. That's not just a cool name. It signifies this quest for absolute control, almost imperial, way beyond just winning titles. And knowing Heyman's history, with dominant factions like the Bloodline, him saying they'll strike first and opponents going MIA, it suggests a real long-term play. Total dominion over the Raw roster, eliminating threats by any means necessary. It feels like systemic dismantling, not just winning matches.
Right. And that brings us to the Sami Zayn match with Breaker. The tension there just went through the roof even before the bell, didn't it? Karrion Kross attacks Zayn from behind with a steel pipe during his entrance, injures his ribs. Adam Pearce is urging him, go get checked out.
Yeah, but Zayn.
Typical Zayn resilience, insists on competing anyway. What was the strategic impact of that pre-match attack?
Oh, it was critical. That injury immediately set up Breaker's win. It was a, 5-minute match, finished with a spear. From a booking view, Breaker gets a dominant win, sure, but it protects Zayn.
Okay.
He didn't lose clean, right? He lost after this brutal, unfair assault.
Good point.
So it keeps Zayn credible, but still elevates Breaker as this unstoppable force. And it perfectly sets up a rematch down the line when Zayn's hopefully 100%.
Okay, so after the match, Rollins' group is celebrating. Sami Zayn's out of commission indefinitely. Big news for them. But the celebration kind of cuts short when Rollins remembers, wait, Jey Uso is still free?
Right, got to tie up loose ends.
Exactly. So Bronson Reed tries to handle that immediately. But in his match against Jey Uso, Reed gets disqualified, threw an office chair at him 3 minutes in.
DQ finish.
That DQ finish is interesting, though. What's the strategic play with that?
Well, exactly. The DQ protects Jey Uso, right?
Yeah.
Stops him taking a clean loss to Reed, which is important for a top babyface like him. But, and this is key, Reed's actions didn't stop there. He hits multiple tsunamis on Uso after the bell. Trainers had to help Jey out.
Oh, wow.
So it reinforces the fashion's brutality, their unchecked dominance. It tells you they're not just trying to win, they want destruction. They want to take people out. It's a calculated move, establishing them as the most dangerous group on Raw, totally willing to break rules to get what they want.
Okay, so the main event then. Seth Rollins beats Penta. Stomp finish, about 12, 13 minutes. Good match.
Solid match, yeah.
But the real twist was after the bell, wasn't it? LA Knight sneaks in, hits Rollins with the BFT.
Out of nowhere.
Totally. Then escapes into the crowd, leaves Rollins' guys scrambling. And Nate had his own promo later, too, right? Declaring Rollins' days are counted for Saturday night's main event.
Yeah, adding fuel to that fire. And don't forget Karrion Kross later on, vowing to keep going after Zayn. Called himself the devil we know versus Zayn, the devil we don't know.
Yeah.
More mind games.
Man, so much happening with that whole group. Okay, so Rollins' faction definitely laid down a brutal marker. But across the locker room, other groups are also, consolidating power, setting sights on gold. Let's pivot now to the Judgment Day. They just won the World Tag Team titles last week from the New Day, and we got that peek into their clubhouse, Finn Balor polishing all the belts.
Yeah, that clubhouse scene was surprisingly rich with little details. That shrine for Liv Morgan, built by Roxanne Perez for Dominic, even though Liv's alive and well.
So weird.
It's fascinating character work, right?
Yeah.
It suggests this, like twisted reverence, almost like she's a trophy. Definitely hints at a manipulative streak, especially from Perez. And Balor mentioning his own 8-month shoulder injury subtly highlights his history of overcoming things, maybe foreshadowing how he'll handle future challenges even while he's enjoying the gold now.
Interesting. And Roxanne Perez then says she's going to prove herself against Kairi Sane and then defend the tag titles at Evolution with Raquel Rodriguez. Pretty confident.
You're very confident.
Meanwhile, Dominic gets a get-well-soon cake from AJ Styles, who then pops out from behind a shelf.
Yeah, AJ signaling he's watching Dom, who just flashes a sick note. Classic Dom.
So in the ring, Kairi Sane beats Roxanne Perez. Took about 11 and a half minutes, despite Raquel Rodriguez trying distractions. Solid match again.
But the post-match stuff felt just as important, maybe more so.
Absolutely. That post-match sequence was key. Rodriguez and Perez keep attacking Sane until Asuka makes the save. Big return moment.
Yeah, the crowd popped for that.
Right. So Asuka and Sane reunited. The Kabuki Warriors are back. They celebrate after hitting Perez with that assisted insane elbow. This wasn't just, friends reuniting. It was a clear statement. It instantly positioned them as challengers for the women's tag titles. Exciting new rivalry there.
And Adam Pearce backstage just trying to manage all this chaos, right?
Or Adam Pearce, yeah. The Kabuki Warriors go up to him, say they want Judgment Day. Pierce, being Pierce, suggests they reunite officially, represent Raw in a fatal four-way for the titles at Evolution.
Which they accepted immediately. Smart booking.
Totally. Meanwhile, the New Day show up, all dressed in black like funeral attire, saying the tag division died when their titles were stolen, demanding a rematch.
And the War Raiders jumped in too, arguing, hey, new opportunities should go to new challengers, not just the guys who lost, adding more contenders to the mix.
Lot of moving parts in that tag division now. Okay, moving on again. The Women's Intercontinental Championship scene, it is absolutely boiling over, especially after Bayley and Lyra Valkyria fought to that draw last week. So Becky Lynch, the champ, comes out, basically asks why she's being challenged by two losers who just lost to each other.
Yeah, she was not happy.
Even suggested it was a conspiracy that she should pick her own opponent. How quickly did that segment just, boom, escalate? And what did it show us about those shifting allegiances?
Oh, it escalated instantly. And it was great character work from all three. Lyra Valkyria out there immediately saying Lynch had sunk into madness, time to reclaim the title. Then Bayley comes out accusing Lyra of costing her the title. What's compelling is how these characters are evolving.
Definitely.
Bayley, always known for her friendships, now says she needs no friendships or partners, only this title belt. Total shift.
And Becky mocked her for it, right? After 13 years of friendships and hugs, joked that Lyra dropped Bayley like a hot potato.
Yeah, twisting the knife. And Bayley fired back, clarifying Lynch called her for WrestleMania, not the other way around.
Yeah.
Highlighting that complex history they have.
Right.
Then Lyra jumps back in and says Lynch can't manipulate her anymore. And ironically points out that Bayley's new ruthless streak actually brings her much closer to Becky. That's a deep cut.
Ooh, yeah.
Bayley's final jab, though, about Lyra winning and losing the IC title and raising Becky's hand like a loser, that was the spark. Pushed Lyra over the edge. Shows how personal this is now, way beyond just the belt.
and it just broke down into a brawl. Lyra swings at Bayley. Bayley ducks. Becky takes the hit. Then Lyra hits her finisher, the Nightwing, I think, and stands tall, holding the title belt over both of them. Perfect setup for the triple threat at Evolution. Classic chaos.
Textbook build for a chaotic title match.
Yeah.
Everyone has heat with everyone else.
Exactly. Okay, so beyond the titles, that Evolution Battle Royal is also getting stacked. Nikki Bella announced she's in, wants to make history, get that spot at Clash at Paris, building on that encounter she had with Liv Morgan a few weeks back.
Right, connecting those dots.
And Ivy Nile from American Made also got her spot from Adam Pearce. What's the broader strategy behind these Battle Royal announcements? Seems like everyone wants in.
Well, these announcements, they tie directly into that big prize, right?
Yeah.
The winner gets a title shot, potentially at Clash at Paris. So it's a clear path for, rising stars or even returning legends like Nikki to instantly jump into title contention. And you mentioned Alpha Academy, Maxine Dupree and Natalia saying they'll work together until it's just them left to get that same spot. Even Akira Tozawa's confident. It just shows how even in these big multi-person matches, strategic alliances are forming already, trying to gain any advantage.
Good point. Okay, shifting to the men's side. The World Heavyweight Champ Gunther came out to just verbally dismantle Bill Goldberg, suggested Goldberg was scared to face him at Saturday night's main event. What kind of response did that get?
Oh, it got an immediate, thunderous response. Goldberg's music hits, huge entrance, marches straight to the ring, knocks the mic right out of Gunther's hand, goes for a spear. Gunther, smartly, bails out quick.
He wanted no part of that right then.
Not right then, no.
Yeah.
That segment was all about building heat, building anticipation, Goldberg showing physically he's not intimidated, and Gunther retreating shows he's smart, he picks his spots, makes their actual match at Saturday night's main event feel even bigger.
Definitely built the hype there. We also saw that quick video package, Io Sky and Rhea Ripley, highlighting that Ripley's never actually beaten Sky.
How much does that history playing into a big match like this?
Oh, huge. That video, even though it was short, it highlights a massive psychological hurdle for Rhea. In a championship match, knowing you've never beaten this specific opponent, that's a big narrative point. It's not just winning the title, it's conquering a personal demon. That history adds a whole other layer to their match. Makes it about more than just the gold.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah.
And one more match result, El Grande Americano beat Dragon Lee. About 9-10 minutes.
Yeah.
But the sneaky detail was Americano apparently smuggled an iron piece into his mask during the match.
Yeah, a little bit of cheating there. Classic heel tactic. Adds to his character.
And Pierce apparently discussed Americano's appearance with American Made, noting Chad Gable might not be happy about it. More seeds planted there.
Always more threads pulling. And Stephanie Vacher had a quick promo too, declaring La Primera would dominate, keeping her name out there. Right. Okay, phew. So wrapping this up, what does all this mean for you, the learner, as we look ahead? NXT Great American Bash, Saturday night's main event, and especially WWE Evolution. We've seen alliances really tested, new threats emerge looking absolutely chilling, and these surprising character shifts, it's all going to ripple through the championships, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This episode, it truly solidified how high the stakes are right across the board. You've got Karrion Kross's calculated aggression, El Grande Americano's hidden tactics, Bayley's sudden ruthlessness. Every action feels aimed at getting an edge. No matter the cost, no matter the method, it paints this picture of a landscape where ambition is just, well, unchecked.
The road to Evolution is definitely paved with some intense rivalries and a lot of surprising turns already. It's going to be fascinating to see how these new paths keep unfolding.
Yeah, and maybe a critical point for you to think about is this. Given how far these competitors are willing to go, the attacks before matches, the hidden objects, publicly ditching friendships for titles, what does this really tell us about the nature of ambition, that competitive drive in wrestling today? And maybe with the long-term consequences of using such extreme tactics, beyond just winning a championship, something to ponder.